finances, investing, estate and retirement planning? Well, I went to school so you don't have to. Welcome to Finances and with Kathy and Jennifer.
Welcome to Finances and Short Selling Stock. I'm Jennifer and I'm here with Kathy. What is short selling? Why did it cause so much trouble in the last few weeks? And should I try it?
So I have listened to a lot of different analogies about this, and I've heard one that I think is the one that really helps the most people understand short selling. In my example, you have just bought a winter coat because you're going on a big ski trip at the end of February. I need a winter coat for next weekend. It's a beautiful coat. So I ask you if I can borrow it. You say, yes. I take your beautiful coat and I return it to the store. I get $150 for your beautiful new coat that you need at the end of the month. I know that at this store, within 14 days, that coat's going to go on sale. So I go back in 14 days before your ski trip and I rebuy that coat for $100. I got $150 when I returned it, and I just spent $100 to get your coat back, and I give you your coat because you need it for your ski trip. I just made $50, and you didn't miss your coat because you didn't need it during that time.
When you buy a stock, you are purchasing a piece of a company. And the reason that you do that is because you believe in the company in some way. You expect them to be profitable. So for instance, you buy a share at $15, you be patient and wait, and then you sell at a higher return to make a profit. This is called a long position. Short selling is the opposite. Shorting is when a buyer borrows stock from their brokerage company from shares in their inventory. This is like when you take a bank loan. It's not the bank's money, it's their client's money that you're actually borrowing.
So then that short seller, the person who borrowed the stock or the coat, will sell that item, those stocks at market price through the broker. The person who borrowed the stock waits for the price to fall, just like the coat to go on sale, and buys it again at a lower price. Then they replace the borrowed stock or the coat that we borrowed from our friend and get to keep that difference. Brokers love this because they don't have any risk in a short sale. They're making money whether you lose money or not. Here's an example of why you might short sell. You believe a company's stock price is going to go down. Maybe they just lost a big contract or a better technology has come out and no one wants that older technology. Think of flip phones when smartphones were introduced. You borrow the flip phone stock at $100 a share, and then let's say you borrow 10 shares and you sell those immediately for $1,000 in total, and you keep the $1,000.
So what happens when the price drops?
After the price is dropped as low as you think it's going to go, you buy back 10 shares. If they're currently selling at $25 a share, you pay $250 for those 10 shares and then return the 10 borrowed shares that you got from your broker and keep the difference, which is the difference between $1,000 and $250. The $1,000 that you got when you sold it and the $250 you had to pay to rebuy it.
So is that legal?
It's completely legal, but it does have many risks. Unlike the traditional buying and selling of stocks, which you can buy and hold on for years, which of course is what we recommend, this requires careful watching of the market and keeping an eye on it daily or even hourly and trying to time the bottom in an attempt to make the greatest amount of money.
Buying stock in a company you have great faith in and their ability to continue to grow is why you should invest. Companies that show they're growing and have an ability to make money are over time going to provide you with profits. There is risk as you are not promised to make a profit, but our stock market consistently has gone up since inception. Of course, you still need to carefully choose the companies that you believe will grow. If you'd like more details on buying and selling stocks, you can listen to our Stocks versus Bonds episode number 14.
Short selling, on the other hand, has many risks. Since a stock price could rise infinitely, the amount you could lose could as well. You're borrowing a stock that you sell the same day because you believe the price will go down, and that's where you make your profit. On the other hand, if that stock price rises, you can lose an infinite amount of money, because if the stock rises to $10,000 a share, you have to replace that stock that you borrowed, and now you're paying $10,000 a share, and you'd only sold it at $100 a share.
So why would anyone want to short sell versus just buying and holding a stock? Speculators capitalize on the potential that a company or even an entire market sector will fall. Certainly some companies will fall victim to a downturn. For example, AMC, the movie company, has fallen on hard times, obviously due to COVID. It's not hard to see that their stock price may fall due to people not going out to socialize in this way right now. So many companies fall on hard times due to mismanagement. Savvy investors paying attention to profits and losses, as well as understanding the sector the company is in, can take advantage of this while accepting the risk. Short selling is available to an individual and large funds as well.
It's generally not a good idea to short stocks unless you really feel like you know the sector, the area that company trades in, and or the workings of the company that you're going to short. There's a classic example of shorting gone bad. In 1901, the stock for Northern Pacific Railroad shot up to $1,000 a share, which maybe doesn't sound too terrible in today's market because we can buy stock today for $3,000 a share. However, if you bought hundreds of that Northern Pacific Railroad and the stock went up to $1,000, you now owe thousands of dollars to buy it back. Today, that $1,000, again, that was 1901. Today's $1,000, that's equal to $30,000 a share. Again, imagine that you've bought this railroad. It went up to $30,000 a share, and multiply it by the thousands of shares that you might have purchased. The real danger in shorting a stock is that you cannot control the losses. If you buy $1,000 stock and it falls to zero, you would lose $1,000. But shorting can be dangerous because when you buy $1,000 stock, if it goes up, it could go up to $30,000 a share. And then you've lost $29,000 a share in that stock price. This is what happened the past few weeks when a group got together and decided to buy a falling stock. And this caused the people who expected a downturn to lose a lot of money.
There was nothing illegal about what they did with their Robinhood accounts, but it was a false manipulation of the market and sought to make a profit for their customers. GameStop stock will fall once again based on their business model. And so this temporary blip did make money for many people, but it also lost millions for others who had retirement accounts in those funds. GameStop stock will fall once again.
That hedge fund, Melvin Capital, started this year, 2021, with $12.5 billion in assets that they managed, and they lost 50% of that by January 22nd. As of January 31st, they have $8 billion in assets after getting a $3.5 billion loan. The real takeaway is that although shorting is a valid way to participate in the stock market, it is not investing in the stock market.
This has the potential for unlimited losses. Can you afford that?
Anything else?
We just hit 6,000 downloads.
We are so excited and so blessed to have you all as listeners. We just received word today that we had 6,000 downloads. We are not yet a year old. It's pretty exciting times, and we sincerely thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for listening to Finances and Shorting Stock. We know you chose to listen, and we're grateful. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share, and consider what leaving a review would do to help us bring financial education to others and help people find us more easily. Please let us know what questions you'd like answered by going to our website at financesand.net. You can now find our infographics on these topics here in the show notes and at the website. Finances and does not provide tax or legal advice, and nothing in this podcast can be construed as such. Always consult a tax, accounting, or legal professional for advice on your specific situation. Remember, I went to school, so you don't have to.
I'm a little concerned at why we're friends right now. You stole my coat and made $50 off of it.
Okay, that's just a side thing.
But other than that, it makes sense, yes. It's a good analogy. Good one.